That thing took off.
Oh my god.
Vehicle's closed down.
All systems currently green.
Falcon Heavy is configured for flight.
T-minus 15, stand by for terminal count.
All right, guys. Final.
9,
10,
9, 8,
Side booster ignition.
6, 5, 4,
2, 1. That thing took off.
Oh my god.
Okay, listen up. Do you see them both light up?
Inside shut down. Inside boosters.
What? Look at that. That's unreal.
Deployed.
and the Falcons have landed.
LZ1, LZ2, both side boosters have touchdown. Landing off and move on to 11 by 1, recovery 1 and recovery 2.
And coming up very shortly, the center core will be attempting.
Elon, spectacular. What did you learn? What did Falcon Heavy teach you?
Teaches, I guess, told me like crazy things can come true. Like, cause he'd said like, I didn't really think this would work. Cause when I see the rocket lift off, I see like 1,000 things that could not work, and it's amazing when they do. And I was really, seeing the two boosters land synchronized, really just like the simulation. I mean, it makes me think like there really could be quite a scalable approach. You know, you could imagine large numbers of those just coming in, landing, taking off, landing, doing many flights per day. So I think it gives me a lot of faith for our next architecture, the sort of the interplanetary spaceship. You have different names for it, but BFR is kind of the code name. And it gives me confidence that BFR is really quite workable. I was actually looking at the side boosters, and like they're pretty big. You know, they're 16 stories tall, 60-foot leg span. But we need to be way bigger than that. So I think it's given me a lot of confidence that we can make the BFR design work. Yeah, it's. I mean, I have tremendous confidence, obviously, in the SpaceX team. So I think we can really do this a lot, you know, and keep advancing the technology to achieve full and rapid reusability, which would have a profound effect on the future. And one of the interesting things about, say, Falcon Heavy versus Falcon 9 is that Falcon Heavy has the same level of expendability as Falcon 9. So if you look at, say, the price of Falcon 9 is $60 million, Falcon Heavy is 90, even though it's got 3 times as much capability. Because in both cases, the only thing that's expended is the upper stage. We're going to start recovering the fairings, the big nose cone. We're going to recover that, recover the boosters. And so there's really, the cost difference really between a Falcon 9 and a Falcon Heavy is minor.
The next question from Marcia Dunn at Associated Press.
Marcia Dunn, AP. What was going through your mind? How amazed were you to see your roadster up there with Starman just cruising along with the Blue Planet? And how long will we be getting live views, do you think, from the car?
Well, I think it looks so ridiculous and impossible. And you can tell it's real because it looks so fake, honestly. Like, we'd have way better CGI if it was fake. And the colors all look kind of weird in space. There's no atmospheric occlusion. Like everything looks too crisp. But we didn't really test any of those materials for, is it space hardened or whatever, So it just has the same seats that like a normal car has. It's just literally a normal car in space, which I kind of like the absurdity of that. And if you look closely, on the dashboard, there's a tiny roadster with a tiny spaceman. So, because Hot Wheels made a Hot Wheels roadster, and a friend of mine suggested, hey, why don't you put that Hot Wheels roadster with a tiny spaceman on the, in the car too? I'm like, that'd be cool. Sure. So we did that. I mean, it's kind of silly and fun, but I think that's, silly fun things are important. And normally for a new rocket, they'd launch like a block of concrete or something like that. I mean, that's so boring. And I think that's just the imagery of it is something that's going to get people excited around the world. And it's still tripping me out. I mean, I'm tripping balls here.
Nick, next question in the room. How about Brendan Byrne from WMFE, the NPR affiliate in Orlando?
Yeah, congratulations, Elon. Great launch today. Where do you see the Falcon Heavy fitting into this launch industry? Is this something that is going to be for more national security? You see this for interplanetary missions? What's the future of Falcon Heavy?
Yeah, the great thing is, so Falcon Heavy opens up a new class of payload. So it can launch more than twice as much payload as any other rocket in the world. So it's kind of up to customers what they might want to launch. But it can launch things direct to Pluto and beyond. No stop needed. You don't even need like a gravity assist or anything. And it can launch giant satellites. It can do anything you want. You could go back. You could send people back to the moon with a bunch of, if you did a bunch of launches of Falcon Heavy and did an orbital refilling. With two or three Falcon Heavies, would equal the payload of a Saturn V. But I wouldn't recommend doing that because I think the new architecture, BFR architecture, is the way to go. But I think it's going to open up a sense of possibility. I think it's going to encourage other companies and countries to say, hey, if SpaceX, which is a commercial company, can do this, and nobody paid for Falcon Heavy, it was paid for with internal funds, then they could do it too. So I think it's going to encourage other countries and companies to raise their sights and say, hey, we can do bigger and better, which is great. We won a new space race. Space races are exciting.
How about one more in the room? How about Daryl Neal from the Fox affiliate here in Orlando?
Mr. Musk, kind of talk us through your thought process as you were watching the launch. You said you were incredibly concerned about it. Just you just wanted to clear the pad because it kind of set expectations low. So talk me through as you were watching it.
Yeah, I think this is true of anyone who's involved in closely in the design of something. You know all the ways they can fail, and that's like the sort of mental checklist that's scrolling through your mind. Is all the things that can break. I mean, there's thousands of things that can go wrong, and everything has to go right once the rocket lifts off. There's no opportunity to do a recall or upload a software fix or anything like that. It's either passing grade is 100%, at least for the ascent phase. Yeah, I've seen rockets blow up so many different ways. So, it's a big relief when it actually works.
One more question in the room. And then
I bet the first, when they first, whoever's when they're like first launched like a 747 or DC-3 or something like that, I bet the chief engineer was like, I can't believe that thing's flying.
And the Falcons have landed.
LZ1, LZ2, both side boosters on touchdown. Landing off where we move on to 11 by 100 on recovery 1 and recovery 2.
Coming up very shortly, the Centaur will be attempting its landing on the autonomous spaceport drum ship.
You may also be hearing the second engine cut off. Oh, check on your screen. Sometimes this footage goes out when it approaches the drone ship and the heavy vibrations make it lose signal. We're crossing our fingers that's not the case right now.
Stage 2, nominal parking orbit insertion.
So it looks like that landing is happening at the moment. We have lost signal.